All right, hello Web Techians. I'm recording this on Monday for the class that I'll open tomorrow on Tuesday. Looking forward to seeing your Wix or WordPress websites. I see a lot of them have come in. I just haven't started grading yet. Moving forward, we're now going to be looking at social media options as they relate to business needs. So please keep this in mind when we're talking about this and you're doing your research. This is not what you personally are on or enjoy with your friends. It's what a business, and specifically your business, should be using in order to reach its target customers and generate sales or whatever it is you're trying to do. So what we normally would have done in person is I would have assigned a bunch of topics, you would have researched for about an hour, and then we would have started giving presentations and kind of a virtual version of that for my online class, which is what we are going to have to do completely, is a virtual version of that. So I found a bunch of helpful websites and I really want you to take a look at them and kind of browse through them, read through them before you jump to the homework. This is the lecture portion and I want you to really get a good understanding. So the first link that I have for you is this overall guide that's really quite helpful. And as this pulls up slowly, a guide to social media marketing for businesses, keyword there, in 2020. So it's kind of a little bit of everything, starting with the basics. And think about these numbers: 3.5 billion people worldwide, 40% of the globe's population using social media. So this is not a full-on marketing class. Those of you in marketing are having much deeper conversations about this. But basically, it's business activity on a social media platform that contributes to the marketing objectives. So it could be brand awareness, it could drive traffic to your website, it could get you a new customer. So there's a bunch of information on here. What are the benefits of social media marketing? I don't know about you guys, but I do spend a lot of time on social media and I do stumble upon new businesses, new ideas, new thoughts that I wouldn't have necessarily found by going straight to my go-to website, whoever I trust for information. Having valuable conversations with your customers. Many companies use Twitter for customer support, or they run Q&As on Instagram stories. So the great way, we've talked about this before, of getting the attention of a company quite often is to complain on social media and, you know, call them out, like, hey, at Delta, where's my luggage? It's been 16 days and you still won't find it, or whatever. That's a silly example, but Delta has somebody watching social media, watching for those call outs, and quite often you get responses very quickly. Recruitment opportunities, share your company culture, show people how it's a great place to work, customer loyalty, and helps with hiring. So how to create a social media marketing strategy. Okay, you have to know what your objectives are. So what do you want to achieve? Do you want to get more customers? Do you want to improve your brand? You have to think about who your audience is. This is really important because of the about 20 social media platforms that I've assigned for this week. Clearly, you're not going to be on all of them. You shouldn't be. And you need to think about which social media platforms are best for your business. Who is their target demographic? Who spends all their time there? If it's young people that you're targeting, you probably don't necessarily want to be on certain social media channels if you know that 95% of them use Snapchat and Instagram only. You know, why bother with everything else? So an example of that, 72% of teenagers are on Instagram. The majority of Twitter users are 18 to 29. So depending on what your business is for this class, you're going to have to really look at these demographics and think of what social media platforms should you be on. And you do need a combination. It's not just I'm going to be on one and that's it. It's definitely a combination, but there are some that you can probably rule out. So really think about your audience demographic, age, gender, location, hobbies, interests, challenges that they face, where they hang out, other brands they might like, things like that. Obviously, there's some market research going into it, and then prioritize what social networks you're going to be on. If you sell a consumer product which lends itself to visual marketing, Instagram should be an obvious choice. I mean, Instagram is pictures, it's imagery, it's getting us excited because we actually see something and can imagine having that product in our life, or we want to be like that person. So, long article. We're not going into all this content stuff right now, but eventually you have to start thinking about that. So this week is really an overview of all the many, many options out there. So which ones are best for business? This is the one article still from last year, 2019, but it's a really good one with demographics in it. So in general, depending what your business is, these are the top 5 according to this article. And please remember that based on your own audience, you need to think about that. So who is your target audience? If you haven't already thought about that, now is a good time to do that. So these 10 questions will help you. So here are the questions that can help you pinpoint your audience. So here's some statistics for different platforms. Percentage of US adults who say they use Facebook, fairly even men and women. The age groups are fairly strong in all categories. Urban, suburban, rural, their education level and their income level. You can compare that to Instagram. You can see the numbers are US adults, a lot more US adults use Facebook over Instagram. Again, all the statistics, here it is for Twitter and Pinterest and LinkedIn. So this is a really, oh, and YouTube. Sorry, I didn't realize they had that one in here. YouTube, look at these numbers. Probably YouTube is a place for any and all businesses to have some sort of a presence. All right, going back to our learning plan, marketing trends, social media trends for 2020. I have about 4 different articles I pulled up for you. Again, with statistics. How many people, how many internet users? Interestingly, this whole concept of the digital detox, like we're so involved in our phones and our social media that a lot of people are choosing to kind of step back, delete some of their apps and profiles. Interesting how this whole coronavirus quarantine, safer at home directive is changing this. Instead of maybe only interacting on social media, I think a lot of people that never have before are using video chatting. A lot of families are getting together via Zoom or Facebook, FaceTime, something like that, to actually see each other, not just have these profiles online, but actually physically be able to see and talk to somebody in real time. So it's kind of interesting how things are changing. So this is a great article. I want you to dig into this one. And then again, where it's headed in 2020, top 4 for your business. Of course, they don't know what your business is, so take that with a grain of salt. And this last one I thought was interesting because there were a couple of new things in here that I personally haven't heard of. Best 21 apps that will rule in 2020. Again, this is not necessarily business-based. However, Telegram, had no clue. Meetup, had no, well, I've heard of that. Reddit is funny. Reddit is on our list. Reddit's been around for a long time, and a lot of people don't really know what it does, or they're kind of afraid of it. So the person who's assigned to Reddit, I want you to really dig into this and see what makes it so cool and so popular, and especially for business use. LinkedIn, Tapebook. This was another one that I clearly have never heard of. It sounds like tapeworm to me, which is a worm in your animals. Okay, so I want you to look through these, really read and dig in. Don't just think, oh, I saw enough, I'm jumping to my homework. I need you to pay attention and learn like we would have in class, but I'm not going to read it all to you. I want you to look at it and really think about how it can relate to your fake business right now, maybe a real business that you're in or that you want to start in your future, or think about it at a company that you might want to work for. Maybe there's some ideas that you can bring to them that they haven't thought of yet. So next thing to do is to research your assigned topic, and I'll show you those in just a minute. There is an Excel file online that has all of your names and your topic, and then a spot for you to put in your recording. So what that is you're going to be recording a short presentation of your findings so that your class members can learn about all these different platforms. So in class, you would have come up to the front and given a little quick talk, either with a PowerPoint or just showing the website, clicking through it, explaining how it works, explain its demographics. So this presentation records your voice and your screen. So like I said, you can show the website or a PowerPoint or both. And what I really want you to focus on is describe what it is, how it works, what demographics it's best for, and then how and why a business should use it. So you may also show examples from the web while you're giving this. The software that I'm encouraging you to use, because it's proven, all of my students in some other classes use it. I use it right now for this recording. It's called Screencast-O-Matic and it's free. This link will take you to a YouTube video, and I'll pause it when it gets going here.
So does this...
Obviously this is the ad, but after that it's going to be a really great, let me just turn this down, play this cast, and it's, all right. You'll find out when you watch that video how you upload it to their storage, and it will provide you with a URL. And that URL link is what you're going to put in this Excel file so that everybody can just go on, click, and watch them. All right, so what is your topic? If you click on this link, it's going to take you to, I don't need to do that, I already have it open, to this worksheet. So your name, my in-person, and online, and the topic that you've been assigned. Once you complete your presentation video, and again, let's keep them to like 3 to 7 minutes long max. Some maybe have more information, or you know they are universally used by a variety of businesses. So just kind of keep the timing in mind. I'm going to ask you to watch these, so probably that 2 to 5 minute per presentation is a good idea. But really talk about what the demographics are that make it perfect for a business that needs those demographics, and then how and why you could use it. And if there are any success stories or maybe a company that uses this and you've read that, you can share that as well. So you'll be adding your link to the web here, and that's going to be to your personal video. And then after, these are due in this Excel file by Monday night at midnight. There is not a Dropbox, and therefore you have to post in this Excel file. Once you start seeing these pop up, or after Monday at midnight, I want you to watch these videos and start to think about which options would be best for your personal business. And then in the following week's learning plan, we're going to have a discussion board on what social media options you are going to use and why, and then people are going to give you feedback, comment on these and say, I think you should really think about Instagram. You have a very visual product. I think it could drive some sales and some people to your website. Or I don't think Snapchat is the best for you given your demographics. I would focus more on this, this, and this. So we're going to have our feedback a week from now. So I need you to, besides doing this, also watch this video about how to create a free account, and then after you view that, do that. Go to Screencast-O-Matic, create a free account, and practice. To make sure that my mic and everything works, I often hit record, say a few words, click around on my screen, and then stop it. and go back and make sure it worked. And once you see that you have it working, you can be confident that recording your presentation will be simple. So if you have any questions or concerns, please email me as soon as possible. And then also know that every Thursday at 10 a.m. I have a drop-in chat, video chat on Blackboard Collaborate. And to get to that in the learning plans, you just need to go here, the online sessions, and if you click on this link, it'll take you to that room. And Thursdays from 10 to 10:30, I hang out in there, and I'm happy to chat with you. So have a great week. I hope you're all doing well, staying sane, and surviving online learning. And please let me know if you have any questions.